Alright, you tree hugging, cum swapping, dick munching bastards. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna show you guys, noob saibot scene double, really. Like, this is a really good variation. I think this is one of the most complete variations in the entire game. Just everything in this variation makes sense for this character. It really does. It's kind of wild. So I just want to break down noob in general, his strings, things you can do with them, and just the mindset. This is how I play with noob saibot. This is one character that gives a lot of my mains a really hard time. So I've been using him a lot lately. I think he's a really fun character. I think he's a really good character. I think he's top 10. That's just me. That's just me. Especially this variation. I think this is a top 10 variation. Like, out of all the variations in the fucking game, this one's really good. It just makes sense. Everything in this variation makes sense for this character. So let's get right into it. So one of the things, so this is how this is gonna work. I'm just gonna start categorizing some strings of noob saibot, right? One of them is this guy and this guy, right? So let's take this shit off, right? So here's the thing. This is really good for this variation because I could do this and then I could just literally like walk up and just start oppressing you with shadow kicks, right? Same thing with this. Just start oppressing you when you start waking up. You're either gonna roll forward and then there's a good chance you can get clipped, or you're gonna roll backwards, or you're just gonna fucking take it and try to jump out and get clipped, right? So it's really good for oppressing your opponent with. But here's a problem with it, right? That I don't like. Now once I throw this, I pretty much have to block. But here's the thing about noob saibot players. All of them are fucking mashers. The reason why a lot of noob saibots are mashers, let's just be fucking real. The reason why a lot of noob saibot players are mashers is because they just don't want to end up giving up their turn. They just don't. How many times has this happened to you? You throw this, and they'll throw it down one, it'll work. Pretty sure that the Wi-Fi is shit, whatever. But, like, they just don't want to end up giving up their turns. That's why a lot of noob saibot players, they just fucking mash. It is what it is. I don't fucking blame them. I wish you can, like, do a special move after this, or this, that would be tight. Or at least, like, I could just throw the first kick, But it is what it is, They're both safe. Pretty solid if you ask me, but like after this I pretty much have to block. I'm -7. This one as well, maybe I can land a little poke, or maybe I could jump, maybe, who knows. But for the most part you have to block after that. But if it lands, the damage is decent. This is a good move for just getting in on your opponent, like boom, like just like that. And then this one is just, I really don't use this move that much, but it's not bad. It's really not. So there's that on that one. Next move I want to talk about is this guy. Here's the thing about this move. It's just weird. It's a very weird move, but a very good move with a lot of setbacks. Check this out. If I land this shit, that's it. Like, if I'm trying to use this as a stagger, it's probably one of the worst stagger moves in the game. Check this out. I'm going to try to poke right after. Look how long that took. It took forever because I'm -16. That's really fucking negative for just throwing one fucking move. You can't do that. I wish you could do something like this and go into a short hop, a little ghetto 50-50 at least. But you're pretty much fucked. But the nice thing about this variation is that you can do this and then go into your double O and whatever, and then be completely safe. And it does good damage as well, like 20% if it works. Like, cool ways of setting it up is, this guy right here, one they block, and then that's one way of doing it, that way, and then staggering into it. There's cool ways of setting it up, or boom, stuff like that. You can do really nice things with it, especially making your opponent whiff. It's really nice. So that's how you need to use it. It's not a brain dead move. You just kind of need to know how to use it, really. So there's that about that move. So now here comes the good shit about noob saibot, right? Is that he probably has the best highs in the game. He has highs for every situation that you want. The first highs I want to talk about is this one right here. This shit is wild. This shit is just fucking wild. Alright, let me break it down. A good noob saibot player makes this move feel like a fucking mid. They really do. Like, if you want to be a good noob, you have to make your opponent feel like this shit is a mid. It's a high. You can poke out of it. It is what it is. But with this guy, like, the second move, it just puts Noob Saibot in a position where he could hit you, but you can't hit him. It's really, he just takes up the entire fucking screen. It's really, really, really good. Like, check this out. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It just gave me some fucking respect, you know? So there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. Check this out. One is you could do one grab, right? You could do one short hop, right? You could do 1, 2, boom. There's that. You could do 1, 2, and then go into your highs, right? Like you could do something like this, right? You could do, alright, so boom, 1, 2, and then boom, 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 grab. Like there's a lot of really cool things you can do with it. Another thing I like to do a lot is this, boom, and then, sorry, okay, boom, 1, 2, grab, right? And then also like do 1, sorry, 1, 2, and then just start oppressing with stuff like that. Like there's a lot of really good mind games with this move. It's very, very, very dangerous, especially on like with punishing your opponent. And then like if you want, like it also does really good damage, 24%. What more do you fucking want? Like it's really, really good. So there's that. This is such a good fucking move. And there's like strings, like one way I like to say it, I throw my 9-frame mid and then go into it. It's pretty fucking solid. So there's that. Next one I want to talk about is this guy right here. This shit is crazy. There's a lot of things you can do, especially in this variation. One thing I like to do, walk up grab. You have the hit advantage of 15. Here's some crazy, crazy things you can do with it. Check this out. If I land this, I could do whatever the fuck I want. 15, that's more than what I need. So like when I start punishing people with it, like this is how I get my pressure with Noob Saibot. I'll do 1, 2, and you could actually gel your highs into it as well. It's a little rough, but it's actually, I've tried it out. It's actually possible. So you could do something like 1, 2, 3, and then you could do that. You could even gel this into it, like 1, 2, 3. You can. That's probably the easiest way of doing it, because you do have to walk up forward, and then online, like right there, boom, it would have gelled right there. It's really good. The smartest thing to do after it is this, and then be completely safe, and if you just want to be sure that your opponent's not like ducking for the grab, you could just do that. But really this is to get your fucking pressure, and then you could also get your grab. Shit'll add up, instead of like just doing stuff like this, whatever. That's 25%. Instead of wasting the bar, you just want to be a cheap bastard. You can just literally walk up and it'll pretty much do the same damage or whatever. So that's another thing right there. So this is really good, especially in this variation. You can do stuff like this, overhead, slide, grab, and also you could also gel your highs into it again. It's crazy. They have really a ton of hit advantage. It's really good. Another thing is boom, boom, short hop. Like it's a really, really, really good move. 1, 2. Stuff like that, or where you're gonna get his staggers and like really fuck with your opponent are his highs. So those are just some things that you can do with it. Or you can even do this, and then this is also possible, but it's rough, like to gel into, but that's another thing. So there's that. So now the last high I want to talk about is this one, which is actually really fucking good. So let me actually explain to you why it's really, really good. So with this high, what makes it really good is, first of all, it's a safe launcher, right? And you can get like, what is it, like 27% onto, after you land it, and then you'll go into this string right here, and it'll be like 27%, 26. I want to say I have a hard time landing it personally, so I just keep it very simple. But at the same time, people break out, and you have a godlike armor breaker. So there's that. But one thing that's really good about this is that you kind of make your opponent feel like they have to block forever. Like after the launcher is said and done, you could go into a special move. That just, like, there's a lot of mind games to that. There's a lot of mind games to this move as well. Like one thing, boom, He's expecting the low and just go into a short hop. People will fall for this shit. Boom. One way I like to set a 9 frame mid and then go into that, or boom, boom. Oh, sorry. Boom, boom. Short hop. Just like that. Just throw him off. Another thing I like to do, the double low. Just like that. Be completely safe. But you can just complete it and then just pressure and start chipping his life away. It does really, really good damage. Like chip damage. Look at all the chip he lost. It's really good. So that's what makes this move incredibly good. So there's that. So my favorite way of setting it up is after the 9 frame. Boom. Do that. Another way I like to do is this. Sorry. Boom. That is another way. And then just like, I don't really throw this move out like that. I really don't like to do it. I'd rather do this because it like kind of just invades your opponent's space, and this one as well, and this comes out faster. I like to use it personally in between strings. That's just the way I like to do it. If I'm like gonna jump in, I'll just do it. Why not? And then whatever, start landing shit. It's just really good for sneaking it in on your opponent. And there's a mix-up to it because you can literally just do this and then just short hop it or grab, or like your opponent doesn't know if you're gonna start completing it or 1-2 and like fuck up his timing, or 1-2 grab. It's a really, really, really good string. All his fucking highs really are just fucking godlike, to be honest. Like it's wild. And then the last thing he has a 9 frame mid, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So here's the thing about it. I use it very differently. Not differently, but like I never do this. I just feel like I never really have to do that. I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of space in between us, but if you're going up against a character like, I don't know, like who has really, like Scarlet, I punish Noob Saibot with this. Like if he does this shit to me, like he's gonna get punished. -17. I have long buttons. Like any character has long buttons is like, Noob is just asking to get fucking punished. So, but in this variation, you can do stuff like that, which is really, really, really nice, and just can be completely safe and space your opponent out, or just throw him off, throw one, he's expecting the second one, and get the fuck out of there. Like, it's really good. And not only that, but check this out. I just don't think it's worth ever enhancing and then going into a move like 22, 20. It's only 2%, but you know, a lot of people, they love doing this right here. 22%, that's it. Like, why do all of that when you can just do this and be completely safe? The only way that you should do this, plus you get no hit advantage, and it's just a fucking guessing game on who's gonna do what. I don't want to put myself in that position. Honestly, the smartest way of doing it is just get that crushing blow. Get that fucking crushing blow. That's the last thing I want to talk about. What I think sets this variation apart from all the other characters is that, first of all, you know, in this variation, it's really about rushing your opponent down and pushing them to the corner. Like, when you throw projectiles at your opponent, it's not to like be back here because it's just not going to work. It's to literally walk your opponent down and start throwing and pushing them, and like just throwing shit at them and push them to the corner, because he gets crazy corner damage. Like, he really does. Like, I don't know, I don't really know his combos like that, but like he could do some crazy shit, right? So that's really what this variation is used for. And another thing is, like, people say, oh, Dark Saibot has more damage. Who gives a fuck? One. And his crushing blows make up for it. This crushing blow right here is so easy to do because of this variation. 2 kicks right here. Here, my opponent fucks up. Another 2 kicks. And I'm just throwing kicks. They're landing. This lands. Or he tries jumping at me, and here. Any shadow. Let's look at the actual requirement for it. Any shadow that like lands, like, you know, whatever, and it adds up to 10, I have a crushing blow that's ready to go. So let's break down that crushing blow, right? Let's say I punish my opponent and I have my crushing blow. Should I say anything else? Like, are you fucking kidding me? 37% unbreakable damage. There's